reminds me, you need to watch that Nick Cage vampire movie, dude.
Nosferatu? No,
Yeah.
not Nosferatu. That's
Renfield.
Yeah, Renfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, both of them I gotta watch. I gotta watch Renfield and Nosferatu. I'm kind of curious to see. I mean, Renfield just for the joking aspect of it. Nosferatu for the... It's supposedly a good kind of quasi-horror take on it. And Lily Rose Depp, yeah, supposedly did a good job playing... Shit, what did she play? Lucy?
Who is Lily Rose Depp? Is that...
She's the female actress in it.
Okay, I don't think I've heard her name before.
You've certainly heard of her dad.
Is she Johnny Depp's, like, kid?
Yeah.
I didn't want to assume, you know. I'd be pissed off if I shared a famous name with a famous actor and it turns out I was not related. Like Baldwin, you know, Adam Baldwin and from Firefly versus Alec Baldwin of, you know, Rust shooting somebody in the face fame.
I was gonna say that.
Not
too.
related.
Yep.
And very different politics, actually. Adam Baldwin's quite right wing, and you know who knows what Alec Baldwin is. You know, shooting people in the face on set, but also preaching about morals, ethics, and stewardship. I'm not, you know, making a definitive answer one way or the other. I'm not casting aspersions or, you know, libeling anybody, but...
No. Because, yeah, shit. Oh, God, yeah, what was the... How did that court case go down? I know the armorer was definitely found guilty.
He was, like, acquitted based off of some technicality, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, like, how it... Yeah, definitely... Yeah. It was horseshit no matter what.
I thought yeah. I mean, a lot of people were at fault there, let's be honest, right? Just the letting a prop gun be taken out to actually go shoot with, not clearing the gun after you're done shooting it, not double-checking it before it goes back on set, not double-checking it before you give it to an actor. Like, so many dumb things that... Just basic firearm safety stuff that has nothing to do with a movie, but has everything to do with just existing in a world with guns that they just all kind of failed on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very sad, very completely avoidable, tragic situation that ended.
Tragically.
Her death and the freaking producer getting, like, shot in the shoulder or some shit.
And did someone end up paying the price for this? Did someone end up going to jail?
I'm pretty sure the armorer,
yeah.
They were definitely found guilty of whatever charge. But I don't really know what the sentence was.
Still, someone's dead.
Yeah.
Through something completely avoidable. Something completely preventable. Easily preventable. Just don't play with guns. You know? I mean, play with guns responsibly at a range, clear it responsibly, take care of it responsibly, all that stuff, you know? It's not rocket science, guys. We've been using guns for longer than most people understood how they worked.
Yes. Fuck.
Or did.
Well, that's what happens when you fucking, you know, take a clay pigeon gun to a zombie match.
Oh, are you using the Olympia?
Yeah.
Ah, goddammit. Why'd you get the shotgun instead of the...
Well, because I needed to, because you had died or gone down, and all the zombies were coming near me. So it was either get the Olympia and shoot back, or jump down and stab more. So I was like, well, I'll just Olympia'd it up.
Oh,
but
roger that.
I thoroughly regret that decision. This gun is only good for clay shit and shooting.
It's probably a really nice shotgun in real life, you know, over under, break action. Yeah.
Freaking engraved. Yeah, it would be a beautiful shotgun to have in real life. Totally, I'd love it. But,
oh god, yeah.
Not in this game.
Hey, well, we'll be able to, you know, that'll be off of the ban list in Colorado. Actually, there's no ban list. It's just certain things you have to have special permissions to buy.
Which is the cute way of saying soft ban. You'd be like, you know, it's like, you know, like, you can check out these books from the school library, quote unquote, but you have to be part of the approved list of X, Y, and Z to get them. Because, you know, we wouldn't want anyone reading 1984 because it's a very subversive book, and it teaches you something you might learn.
And actually, 1984 should be banned on the basis of how gendered it is. It's always Big Brother, never Big Sister. I mean, come on. Why be so exclusionary?
That's true. That's true. Anyone with a big sister knows how tyrannical they are. Even worse than a big brother, one might argue.
Yes, yes. Tyranny, tyranny. I was a despot.
Indeed. I'll have to talk to my older sister Hippolyta and see how bad I was for her.
I'm sure it was quite bad.
Indeed. Well, I mean, it's what happens when you have a fucking god as a sister. Just the ego. It's just so overinflated.
I'll take your word for it. She was always your sister, not mine.
Same parents, different blood.
Our parents are chimeras.
Oh, fuck. That'd be an interesting scientific anomaly.
That's actually happened. A woman had a child, and during some kind of a DNA testing, or whatever, the DNA didn't match hers. And she's like, no, that's for real. That's my kid. Like, the birth, and they're like going to charge her with abducting or kidnapping. And so
wow.
She was pregnant at the time, and then she gave birth in front of court officers, and they did the genetic test, and it showed again that she was not the mother, even though they had actually this time witnessed the live birth. So scientists were fairly baffled by this, and it turns out that sometime in the womb, she had absorbed her twin sister, and part of that had been, I guess, her eggs and ovaries. So she ended up having the genetic material of her twin sister be the genetic material that she passes on through her gametes, which is wild. So there are real chimeras like that in real life. So she was having children that only had a familial relation, not a mother sibling or a mother offspring relationship.
That is fucking trippy.
Right? So her children were more like her nieces and nephews, genetically speaking.
Oof. Yeah, okay, that's a mind fuck.
Yeah. Can you imagine the kids knowing that, you can't tell me what to do, you're not my real mom. My real mom's dead, you ate her in the womb, you murderer.
Oh, I pull that card all the time.
Oh, I know. It's cruel as fuck, but it's funny to joke about. Yeah, my real mom. Murderer. I didn't know what I was doing. I was young. I needed the work.
Oh, God.
I needed the calories. Alright, it's round 7. Should we get through here?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Go
I don't want to go too far up, though.
Why not? To the power on.
I'm gonna get swamped. Alright, well, I have the run option onto both sides. Get that.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh shit, oh shit.
No!
What did I say?
Stairways are evil.
Good thing you have a ray gun. If I lose something really dope, I'm gonna be angry. Fuck! Well, I have no idea what I lost, because by the time I rounded the corner, the gun was below the threshold, so... I may have lost something shit, I may have lost something good.
Oh, I can't revive you with this, can I?
With the death machine?
Yeah. No. Well, I'll just run train here until I lose it all. Come on.
Yeah, it always sucks when a death machine, you get it, and you have to spend like a third of the time in between rounds.
Yeah.
Okay, frickin' CZ75. My god, I forgot that they fucking come down.
Come down. Oh, that's not bad. Alright, I'm not gonna try. Let's get the fuck out of here. Try to get downstairs.
Before the Reaper comes.
Charge! Ah.
Early in the evening when the working is through.
Oh,
And
no.
it's all off our road. God damn it. Yep.
That happened
There ain't
fast.
Much to do. Yeah, I ran in, but I tried to go in between the
No.
piece of plastic and the. Ooh. Yeah. Once again, good thing you.
No, no.
I saw that happening. Like you just up the stairs and then.
I reloaded, and I thought I was done, so I started running again, and I wasn't reloaded, so then I had to reload again, and yeah, then you saw the result.
Mm-hmm.
Sad days.
It is. Well, we are rusty. This is our first game stream for a while.
That's a fact. Yeah, it's been months.
Yes, we've been busy frolicking around the gay streets of Europe.
Yep, the gay socialist streets of Europe. It was so gay. Oh, so gay.
So gay. That did fuck with me. I mean, like, seeing, like, Karl Marx Street and shit like that. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you forget.
You forget that, yeah, like, I mean, like, over here, the dude is a fucking,
He's
evil
been
bastard.
demonized because the word socialism and communism are unfairly maligned, but yeah.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say unfairly maligned. I mean, like...
To the point where Karl Marx, the philosopher, is overshadowed by, like, every other failed communistical experiment.
No, okay, I agree with you that, yeah, like, yeah, Karl Marx, yeah, like, is like the devil
Like,
incarnate.
why don't we
but, like,
hate
Pol
John
Pot
Locke?
is...
No.
Well, because he was just a happy philosopher that was talking about, like, human nature.
Mm-hmm. And how about Keynes and his laissez-faire economic policies? Why don't we hate him for the capitalist hellscape that has transpired?
Because women burning to death in a factory in New York is something that we look fondly back on.
I mean, the
in
lights were
America.
so pretty. It was natural light, We don't get enough of that these days.
It was the best light, the best natural light.
Firelight. Everyone tells me it kills COVID. It's as good as injecting bleach.
We're not supposed to go into
I know,
that. Right? Fuck. We try. Sorry, everyone. We try to keep this family friendly and happy and politic free on this channel.
Mostly succeed.
Yes, mostly succeed.
I blame you for talking about Karl Marx Strasse.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Well, I never meant to go into the political part of it. It was just weird. Yeah, know, like just seeing statues and like having streets named after him. It's just like, well, that's a twist. Especially coming from America, because as you said, yeah, the ideas and the person have been cast into a very interesting light by many people.
Yeah, most people use the term Marxist. When I say most people, certain people on a certain side of the spectrum use the term Marxist as a pejorative.
Yeah. Because, like, the man only had one idea, and you can distill it into, like, a political ideology.
And some of his ideas were downright utopian, too. Like, doesn't the idea of, like, egalitarian communal life appeal to you as from, like, a desire for that sort of peaceful... Like, the Shire is, like, is sort of... That's not necessarily communist. I guess they have money and stuff, but they all take care of each other. It's very, very peaceful. It's all egalitarian. It's all based off of your... I don't know, farming, and maybe I'm just confusing farming with being a communist.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring
there's
it into
definitely
the Shire.
money, and they have wealth, and there's definitely a class disparity, and yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, the idea of having, no necessarily, like, wants, your needs are always guaranteed, things are shared equally, like, there's something appealing about that.
Yeah. It's like a family on a bigger scale if you could actually get that working correctly.
Right. Yeah, just a few humans just gotta fuck it up.
Be pretty dope. Yeah, a few humans definitely do gotta fuck everything up.
If you listen to me as a dictator, it wouldn't happen.
Oh yes, my brother, the benevolent dictator.
Yeah, I mean,
trust me, guys, you're better off with me in charge.
Depends how much you like science and, progress and
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you insinuating? That if I was a unilateral dictator, I would stomp on the sciences?
You may not promote them the same way that I would.
I mean, I don't know. I would encourage education. I would. I don't know. Actually, yeah. You would probably do a better job of promoting. I'd do a better job of promoting, you know, hippy dippiness and philosophy and
Logic.
creativity than logic and the scientific method and the rigors of a null hypothesis.
Either way, I fear once again we're straying awfully far afield from a video game that has nothing to do with anything but shooting zombies in the face.
Well, yeah.
Although
Now
I
we're
think
just getting in...
I think there should be more European Nazi zombie maps because, like, think about Nazi zombie inside museums, Nazi zombies inside like government like the buildings
fucking Nazi
over there
zombies
are just
inside of the Reichstag would be so much fun.
They're just so much more epic looking over there than they are here. So many buildings are, at least.
Mm-hmm. But playing Nazi zombies in a building is like a double-edged sword. It's great to a certain respect, but buildings tend to be rather small and right-angle-y and corridory and staircasey.
Well, that's not that different than, let's say, the Insane Asylum episode map or the Kino map.
True.
I'd argue this map here, which is technically outside and outside of a building as much as inside a building, is actually harder than those square ones.
Well, that's because it got no running lane.
Exactly.
It's just a frickin' X.
A museum will have a natural flow to the layout, so theoretically that would be a good running lane. You know which way you need to go through the museum. You run that same way. Try to avoid killing the statues and the guards.
Yeah, but like you also have to have like the right length, because like if you just look at Call of the Dead, you know, that map is too big to be able to open up everything in time unless you're extremely lucky to get a gun and get Juggernog and all that other type of thing.
Yeah.
So it has to be small enough to work, but not as stupid as, like, let's say 5, where there's an elevator and freaking portals that are just randomly send you to random parts of the map, and if you don't know exactly where you're going and haven't played 5, you know, so much that you know the entire map like the back of your hand, which you kind of do need to know on a zombie map, you get screwed. It's in the same way it's actually like Shangri-La, too. Shangri-La is just a buttload of small tunnels, corridors, and mine equipment, and that map is way too big to play properly, and even if you do open it all up, you're still so easily screwed.
Yeah. I haven't played Shangri-La since the Xbox days. I obviously don't have it on my thing. I'm not spending $40 on a freaking map
20.
that's... Well, whatever. I'm not spending $20 on a map that's 20 years old. No, 20, but more than 10 years old, too.
15, I think, by now?
It's
yeah.
like 2011, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think 2011.
That's some BS.
No, 2011. Yeah. No, yeah. You're spending that much money for a DLC at this point is like they should bundle them all together for 25 cents.
If only. Well, who knows? Now that EA, I mean, I know EA doesn't make like Call of Duty, they make Battlefield, but still.
No, but they're just gonna screw up like.
What a weird
so much.
precedent that's gonna set.
Yeah, and I was reading like that they're planning on like a pretty big purge and want to do a boatload of things with AI and stuff. It's
gross.
The quality is just gonna go straight down the hill, fast like a freaking bowling ball.
God, I get Saudi Arabia is trying to diversify its interests away from oil into like sports and entertainment stuff. They're trying to build their weird Neom city in a line, which makes no sense either. But regardless, like, gross. I don't want an authoritarian religious dictatorship family theocracy thing directly in charge of the video games. I want to, like, the video game development. They're definitely going to have things to say about content and scope and tone and propaganda and all. I don't want that.
I look forward to their first new flight simulator.
Isn't that Microsoft? Or
No,
you talking
wait, no, I'm making a joke here. Saudi
yeah.
Arabia Flight Simulator.
Oh dear.
And let's just say New York City.
Will it be half-assed? You never have to learn how to land.
You hit the building just right, and you might go through.
That's how you score points.
Oh god, how many buildings you can knock down?
Can you get Tower 3 to fall without touching it? Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, since you broke this, like you know, like the fucking comedy festival. I mean, we're fucking talking about this now, anyways.
Yeah.
But like the comedy festival, you know, that has comedians split straight down the middle. I saw a little bit of Mark Maron talking about. It's like, yeah, you know, there's a comedy festival, you know, going on straight from the people who brought you 9/11. I'm obviously not invited.
I would be. But I was shocked that Bill Burr is gonna go.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, how much of a sellout and like, how pathetic do you have to be?
How much money did they pay him?
Dude, even if you offered, I mean, if I was the most famous comic in the world, I mean, like, could you imagine, like, George Carlin being like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll accept, like, $10 million to perform.
God damn it. I should never try to save anybody. Just hang back, kill a bunch of zombies, and then if I can get to you, great. Oh, well.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, I cannot imagine Robin Williams or George Carlin getting on that ticket.
No, yeah.
I'd be really grossed out if they did, too.
Yeah, it would be too. Yeah. I mean, like, every person who accepted that, I have a lot less
respect for,
yeah.
Isn't, like, one of the comedians who's going a trans comedian? Like, how is that? How did that work out? If that rumor that I heard is correct, A, how did Saudi Arabia get on board with that? And B, why would he or she get on board with that? Trans rights are not something that Muslim theocracies champion. Shit, you know, like... It's just weird, man. It's like the Queers for Palestine. You guys are weird.
Yeah. Like, yes, certain shit, certain ideologies just do fundamentally clash, and you know, it just doesn't fucking work. You know, it's like Christians for Boko Haram. What? Shit that doesn't work.
Capitalists for Mao. No progress without collectivism. Let them farm.
Now we're really gone far afield.
I know, right?
Bringing it back to something a little more lighthearted, like the death penalty. No, I'm kidding.
Necessary evil or moral ambiguity? More at 11.
Well, now that you pose the question, I actually want to answer it. Moral ambiguity. Because I don't think like the death penalty in my mind is not a fucking deterrent. Like any...
No.
I've never...
If the death penalty were a deterrent, we wouldn't have crime.
Yeah.
Punishment as a deterrent doesn't work.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure George Carlin was the one who's just like, death penalty as a deterrent. They're the ones just, like, especially talking about, like, gang members. If I remember the routine up, he's like, they're fucking killing each other with guns. They're not afraid to die.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And I don't remember what philosopher or what researcher said this, but, you know, there are two main motivations to murder you can think of. You know, there's planned murders, you know, and you have crimes of opportunity and crimes of passion. So planned murder is like kind of a kind of opportunity. You want to kill somebody to get some gain, or because they have something you want, or it's revenge. Revenge would be a crime of passion. But either way, these things are going to happen whether there's a punishment or not. They're happening in spite of the known punishment. So a crime of passion, you're not going to think about the consequences. You're so angry you're going to kill this person. Yeah. Crime of opportunity, you see some kind of gain in it, and you think that gain outweighs the risk of getting locked up and being sentenced to death penalty. So the death penalty isn't a deterrent in the two main like driving forces behind murder.
Yeah, no,
you don't think about the consequences when you shoot your wife's lover in the face in bed. You know, it's just you're not thinking clearly.
I wonder if, like, commensurate justice would be like not necessarily like a deterrent, but might work better than what we have right now. So I mean like for like real for like death and shit like that. So like if you just like shoot your like, you know, wife's lover or husband's lover and, you know, kill them, that's the way your sentence, you know, gets carried out. But if you're like a child predator and you do some unspeakable things and then you end up killing your victim too, recreate the horror that happens and that's how you die.
That's some like sci-fi kind of stuff, actually. I mean, that's there is, I believe, a punishment in a Star Trek episode where the punishment for murder is to relive the moment of your victim's death over and over and over again in like a simulation.
That would be... I don't remember that for Star Trek.
I'll have to look up what episode that is, but...
that'd be pretty devastating, though.
Yeah,
like having to go through it. It doesn't stop you from necessarily...
But the problem with that kind of justice, it's too close to
way
like
more revenge based.
Yeah, exactly. And who are the people in charge of coming up with these punishments? You know, like are they arbitrarily decided by a judge? Because then all of a sudden you may be selecting for kind of like sadistic people to be in judicial, like criminal judicial areas. And what is the penalty for things like, you know? Okay, it's not a heinous venal crime like, you know, child molestation, but you hit somebody at night crossing the street with your car accidentally and they died. What is a proportional punishment to that? Do you subject them to an eternity of being hit by the same car over and over again too, or how does it, or you know, the eye for an eye kind of thing? Sounds great in theory, but it's really hard to balance that kind of stuff out.
Yeah. And then especially if this isn't like a, you know, if we don't have a computer chip in our brain and you can't like have the shit go virtually and call that the punishment. If this is happening in like real life, what type of sadistic fucks are you hiring to carry out these executions?
Right.
Is it just like other inmates who have done horrible things waiting their turn? Be like, well, you know what? Before you die in your own horrible way, you can get some aggression out and help the state,
which is super dark,
someone else's life in a really, really dark way. So, you know, yippee for you for 5 seconds, but then you'll get the same turned upon. I don't know. It's fucked up no matter what. Honestly, a benevolent justice system is a much better way of going about things than an eye for an eye. Unless you really want to just create that type of society, then you're going to have to live with the consequences of that society too.
And so much of the crime that we lock people up for are the direct results of things like poverty and socioeconomic status. You know, if people were more secure in where their food and housing and warmth were coming from, there'd be a lot less incentive to commit crimes like robbery and theft. Because a lot of those crimes turn into assault and battery, theft, you know, with a deadly weapon, all kinds of stuff. They're like accessory crimes that are all motivated by either the desire or the need for food or money or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there are plenty of opportunistic crimes where people are just out there as career criminals and they're happy to do it, but the vast majority of people who get sentenced for theft and robbery and stuff are doing it because that's the only way that they can see to make money right now. They need money badly, and they have no other way of getting it in wherever they are, or whatever upbringing they have, whatever education they have, any number of factors.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a myriad of reasons why people do things.
Getting off on it is one of them too. Yeah. Oh, god damn it.
Yeah. Those type of people, the whatever like psychopath subsection of humanity that will always exist. You know, that you just like the genetic anomalies, like, yeah, like that type of shit you just can't fucking control for, and you just gotta
Yeah, those people.
Benevolence and help does not help that. You know,
Yeah,
you
there are
just
people who are going to
fucking
be
take them
just
out.
broken upstairs, and there's
Yeah.
they have to kind of be segregated, but they don't have to be segregated into a prison where it's punitive. You know, if you can help them out and I mean, taking away all the insane asylums, you know, like we make horror movies and write horror stories about insane asylums, and they're creepy and they're terrifying and they're old, and it conjures up images of mad scientists doing experiments on insane people and lobotomies and screaming and you know and straitjackets and padded cells. You know, it's a terrifying sounding place, right? But
It's housing terrifying people.
in reality, we do need like you know, come up with a sanitized term for it. Whatever. Modern linguistics is great at coming up with sanitized terms for things. You can come up with something for it, like
No. Fuck that shit. Sanitizing words is basically just like you're just trying to make other people feel better. It's like no. I absolutely disagree with sanitize. You just fucking you keep it as a sane asylum. Like that is what it is. None of this like post-traumatic stress disorder. No, it's fucking shell shock. You know. Keep it light. I mean, keep it simple, compact, and to the point.
Well, shell shock implies that you can only get it if you're in combat. And there are plenty of people who have PTSD who have never been near a gun or a bomb exploding near them, yet still have post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay, well, yeah, you're not wrong, but you understand why I dislike the
that type of shell shock, and then it was battle fatigue. Yeah, and I understand. I think the only reason I would say you change it from an insane asylum to something better is because the connotation is what I described. At least it is for me. It's scary and it's terrifying, and it's doctors and nurses being evil and not doing their job well and practicing like psychology behind closed doors, that oversight, you know, that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree, but like, I mean, you can call a prison a correction facility, but it's still a prison.
Yeah, that's true. We should start calling it sanitariums again, or no, sanatorium.
Sanatorium.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sanatorium.
I'd be down with that because it's an old school name and it is also terrifying. But it's just new enough for the young kids to be like, oh look, it's a better name because it's not an insane asylum, it's a sanatorium.
And who knows, maybe more gentle psychological treatment of people in these places will be better. It won't be like the terrifying places we imagine. It'll actually be something positive, and it'll also get a lot of homeless people probably off the streets as well. And we took a lot of homeless people, a lot of people who were mentally ill, and just threw them on the streets. So like, figure it out. You know?
Yeah, that is just cruel. Yeah, like so. Yeah.
So sometimes
there's a lot of benefits to having multiple facilities for different types of reasons, and having sanatoriums, insane asylums, whatever you want to call them, temporary housing units for people who are mentally ill and need help or leg up, whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't think anyone in America will disagree that we don't need to fix these problems that we have just been talking about. I mean, unless you're a fucking asshole.
Well, I think that
then I guess you might.
They'll play lip service to it. They'll be like, "Oh, well, we don't have a violence epidemic. We have a mental health epidemic." And then when you say, "Well, what can we do to fix this mental health epidemic?" Oh, people just need to be stronger. They're all snowflakes. Everyone has anxiety, and everyone has, you know, some kind of ADD, and yeah, maybe some things are overprescribed, but yeah, people aren't willing to do anything about the mental health issues that people have. They're not willing to invest more. They're not willing to see what lies at the root cause of this anxiety. This existential dread about the world could be better if the world didn't suck. But the world's always going to suck, but we could make it suck less, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, we live in a very advanced society. I mean, the most advanced society, technologically speaking. I mean, maybe not like the most advanced society culturally speaking, because we've seemed to devolve a little bit. But yeah, like at all points right now, we have definitely the ability to change all these ailing factors that are contributing to an unhealthy population, be it physically or mentally. Yeah, we just choose that because it's so much easier to just name the problem. You know, be like, oh yeah, like this group has this problem, this group has that problem, this, and this. You know, it's a pointing fingers game. The pointing fingers is the easy part. Yeah, it's the solutions.
Yeah,
everyone's real quick
to assign blame. It's really fun. To say, see, it's their fault, point to them, they did it. And then not propose any solution or change. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And most of the time, these problems, too, like the people who are getting blamed for them, they might have some culpability in the blame. It might be anywhere from like 20 to 50%, but 99 times out of 100, no group has sole fundamental claim to the problem that society is blaming them for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's society is way too big and way too spread out to blame any one group or any one person for it. But it is pretty clear when you look at economic standpoint where the money is going and who is controlling media.
What? Yeah.
And what we hear through, well, whatever news sources and whatever online sources you happen to go through, chances are some large mega corporation has its hand influencing that algorithm, that feed, that
and
article.
even if it doesn't have its hand on influencing that algorithm, the information that let's just say whatever source you're talking about, information that source is basing it on might have a huge problem with where it's getting its information or how it's reporting its information. I mean, like the layering on layering of how information gets collected and then disseminated in news or just on social media is so lopsided or multi-tier lopsided,
and it's really presented
like
in two different ways. All of news is presented in two main different ways. Obviously, probably within those two different ways, thousands of splinters. But
yeah,
there's a clear divide between two different ways that media is presented, and even down to the language too. Like, I love hearing a headline about a whatever daily shooting happened in America at the time, mass casualty event. An active shooting event is happening at so and so place. It's never like as brutal as it really is. You talk about shell shock, like, yeah, no, this is a mass shooting. This is a crazed lunatic with a gun is shooting children again. Where's that headline?
Yeah. Church open fired. 21 dead.
Open carry did nothing to save anybody. Like.
Yeah.
Another mass shooting in Texas. Why do people hate churches?
Another mass shooting at a Colorado school. Why does Colorado schools have the highest gun rates? All these type of things that you could just, you could phrase them better, or even like the worst part, it's not even they're not even mentioned.
That's the worst
They
part.
might be mentioned on the local news, but we're so desensitized to all these like mass shootings and all like the bad shit that's going on that so much of it just gets swept under. So much of it gets swept under the rug that we don't even think about considering the problems, because if one gets mentioned, there were 20 behind it that happened that same day that aren't.
And we're talking about mass shooting events, like this. There's the run of the mill mass casualty events that are just like drug deals gone bad and gang violence or whatever. But I think what we're really talking about is what seemed like senseless mass casualty events. Someone brings a gun into a school or a church or a post office or whatever, or someone posts up with a sniper rifle and just starts shooting people. Like that's the stuff that we really think of as like senseless, dangerous, unhealthy violence. Like, gun violence in a gang style or robbing a gun bag isn't healthy either. Obviously, it's not what I'm trying to say. But that's what what I'm talking about. Like, there are two different types of violence in my book. There's the mentally unhinged, I want to shoot as many people as I can kind of violence, and then there's the I was robbing a convenience store and shot the clerk, or I was in a turf war with other gangs and we all got shot up. Different circumstances.
Yeah.
I'm not saying one is worse or better than the other.
But one of them is more excusable in the human psyche than the other.
Yeah. Shit. But America has more of it than anyone else. Doesn't matter what country you're in, really. I mean, we're not gonna compare us to Afghanistan or something, but let's say, any other like westernized country. Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Croatia, Albania, Turkmenistan, Turkey. I mean, fuck. We're getting even far away from democracies here.
Yeah,
pretty far
as
east.
soon as you got to Turkey, I'm just like,
There are fewer, mass shooting events in Turkey than there are in the United States.
Yeah, that's true.
People are like, oh, America's too big. That's why that happens. Like, that's such a dumb argument. Why does the size matter?
Yeah, I don't get that argument either.
And why does the fact that we have a gun culture matter? Like, okay, we have a gun culture, and it's an unhealthy gun culture. Like, okay, you have a culture of E. coli. That's not good for you. Let's get rid of that. Sometimes we stick to these weird, like, we use these traditions and cultural excuses to just hang on to, like, the bigotry and bullshit of our ancestors in our past. Can we just let that shit go? Like, god damn. I mean, I like shooting my guns as much as the next person. I promise you I do, guys. I'm not just saying that while I'm playing a video game about shooting guns at zombies. But even I recognize that we gotta have, like, this conversation needs to happen. Thoughts and prayers are insulting. And we can't be choosy about what gun violence matters and what doesn't. It's all equally important or none of it matters.
Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree. But I mean, I fall into the one where, like, giving up Second Amendment or allowing this to continue. This is the irrational part of my brain. I don't really want to give up the Second Amendment. Though I don't want children dying either.
But there must be a better way. I mean, think about the way that guns are integrated in some of the Northern European countries. They're like staples of the community. Gun clubs are a big deal. Regular shooting meets are just a regular occurrence. People come together and then they compete in events together, and it's like a community event, and it's sort of a requirement of responsible gun ownership. The government feels like if you don't train this amount, then you're being irresponsible. We expect you to have this gun and use it wisely. That means you have to train, you have to compete. Man, how cool would that be if it was like your civic duty to compete, to form community together surrounding, like, and it becomes more than just about the guns. Any community event becomes more than what the organization is doing. I argue if you go to, like, Comic-Con, for example, is a lot more about the community of like-minded individuals coming together than it is about any one comic or any one group.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with any kind of thing like that. And you want to make it in a country where the culture is so tied to gun ownership, why can't you make it more of a community event? Why does it have to be like an us or them, isolationist team sort of red versus blue thing? It's dumb. It's really, really dumb.
It is, yeah. Well, because I mean, if you want to just distill it down to a political ideology, I mean, on one side you have every time a mass shooting happens, well, we got to ban AR-15s because that's the reason this mass shooting is happening. And then on the other side, every time a mass shooting happens, well, we need to have more open carry. Like, if the political philosophies come up with those two ideas as a political solution to the gun problem, you are very much at an impasse, and you might as well just throw your head in the sand.
I don't. So the AR-15s that commit mass shooting events, it's. I don't have the statistics in front of me, unfortunately, but I know it's actually a lot less than you think. Like, the guns that get used in most gun deaths are caused by handguns in the United States.
Yeah.
Period. The vast majority of all gun deaths in the United States are suicides. A very, very small percentage of all gun violence happens as a result of a mass shooting event.
But if I Googled mass shooting AR-15, you're going to get 1,000 articles about things that that will have been picked up in the mainstream media a lot more than dude dies by handgun.
Yeah. And it's really kind of silly because, like, all right, the new gun laws in Colorado, I'm grandfathered in. You're grandfathered in. Any firearms that we have currently, or we will buy before the new law goes into effect, we have no obligation to permit ourselves to go through all the hoops that are going to be required to own those guns in the future. We just get to have them. So from that perspective alone, I'm not sure how much safer it makes Colorado or Coloradans.
None.
And then second of all, I can still go and get a permit, ostensibly, but who decides whether I'm fit to get it or not? It's the sheriff of that county. So
Yeah.
I imagine that, let's say, Denver sheriff might have a different idea on how many of these he's going to even authorize go through. He can make that policy decision. So now you can start really restricting it and be like, I'm only going to authorize 1,000 new permits a year. That is nothing, right? So now
Yeah, no.
you're really getting sketchy. So we're not making ourselves safer. At least I don't think so. Like, you know,
Well, no, we're not.
these like weird halfway measures between like making guns harder to get, but not actually like taking anything away or changing anything about like the legality of owning it. Yeah, it's completely pointless. It's just it's actually an annoyance, and I have no idea what to expect. Like, I'll probably get my permit. You know, I expect I will. I can't really see why I wouldn't. Right? I mean, take the course and fill out the paperwork and whatever. I'm not really stoked about it, but
thing. Yeah, it's just basically like an extra tax to get guns.
and it's taking money out of the Colorado Parks and Wildlife's budget, which I really dislike. I hate that so much because Colorado Parks and Wildlife needs to be funded well. I love my Parks and Wildlife a lot. In fact, I would argue I use Colorado Parks and Wildlife more than I use my firearms.
No, we definitely do. I mean, I might just fucking get a fishing permit just to support them.
Right? Just get
I mean, like,
yeah, right. Just to
I don't go fishing, but like I want to make sure that they have some extra money just because of this, because of the way this stupid bill.
Go take an extra hunter safeties course just to give them more money. Anyway, yeah, I hate that this is all out of their bottom line, and not out of something else, like, or not. Yeah, just I don't know. Tie it to the sheriff's budget. If you're gonna make the sheriffs responsible for doing these courses and signing off on it, then take it out of their budget and see how fast that would have passed. Right?
Oh no, it would have never gotten out of committee.
So clearly, it's not really about safety, is it?
Oh no. I mean, no. Like if this was about safety, we wouldn't have any more guns because any reasonable person would look at the amount of
violence, death,
of violence, and be like, we would do what Australia did. We would do a voluntary buyback. Everyone would be so horrified at what happened that they would want to get rid of the guns to prevent these type of things from happening. Yes, you're always going to have criminals with guns. All these people who are naysaying about what I just said, shut up. But like, you know, if you're just looking at a strictly like moral human calculus, you have to be a pretty you kind of have to be a dirtbag to say that like our gun deaths are acceptable so we can keep guns. Like that is a shit.
Yeah.
Thing
So
to do.
Some people might invoke the quote, the tree of freedom needs to be nurtured with the blood of traitors and patriots.
But we're talking about children here.
Yeah, exactly. Like traitors and patriots, they have agency and options in that. These children going to school never chose to fight for anything right there. They're too young. You know, this is not fair to them. Like they're I think old people don't like, and I'm kind of going to include myself in this. I'm not old, but I am from a time before active shooter drills in school, and also I didn't necessarily always go to school in the States. So my school upbringing is different from a lot of people. It's fine. I accept that too. But still, never had active shooter drills, never thought about the possibility of a gunman coming in and shooting up my school. It was just never really a thing that entered my mind. And a lot of people are older than myself who also never had that and just don't understand why, like, kids are freaked out and messed up, like, and screwing up in school. It's because of shit like this.
Yeah.
It's not good for them.
And I am young enough to be on the very tail end of that. I mean, like, the last 2 years for me of high school, like, we had active fucking shooter drills. I mean, there was a streak of, like, of a fortnight where there was a school shooting every 3 days, and we were all talking about it. I mean, like, I went from being able to go to my high school with unlocked doors to every single door locked, even the front door. Like,
within the span of how long? Like, how quick did that change happen? 1 year to the next? 1 week to the next?
1 year to the next. No, 1 year to the next. It was all open and then nothing open.
Yeah.
Like dramatic, completely. Yeah, it was fucked up.
So the inevitable conclusion of this conversation is, how do we fix this? What do we do better? What can we do to mitigate this kind of violence? Is it possible to live in a society with as many guns as there are in the United States, and also make sensible laws that remove that greatly reduce the incidence of these shooting events? And is there a way to eliminate them entirely? Like, are they antithetical to each other? Can you have both at the same time, or as long as you have guns the way that we have them, we'll never have a truly safe school and society?
I would say, I mean, like, there's always going to be the crazies, all right? Because I see you can't legislate off of that. Like, like, you can't stop. So there'll always be someone somewhere at one point or another willing to do these heinous actions. But I feel like the majority are, like, I don't think you can actually legislate it out. But not because... because of, like... We're in this weird societal, like, sickness cycle. Where the frequency of these events has has definitely increased over, like, the last, like, 20 years. Especially if we're talking about, like, school shootings.
Yeah.
And there's something else at work there. Now, like, religious people will definitely say, like, like, it's... religious people will say, like, it's godlessness. Like we don't all have, like, the same moral compass, and those who don't believe in, like, the supreme being are just kind of free floating around, being very Nietzsche.
And we can't take those arguments seriously, though. We have to remember that.
Oh, no,
that's
I agree.
Ridiculous nonsense, superstition. And it's also telling people that their moral failings are the reasons that life is bad, instead of actually getting to the root cause of what's going on. Sorry, that's just one of my things that always bugs me. When I hear...
Oh, no, yeah.
When I hear that argument from religious people who are often hypocritical when it comes to the application of morality and what their religious morality means to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, yeah. Like, there's no, like straight answer, but, like some people will say that. Other people will, like, go to, like we have a huge, mental health epidemic, and too many people are, like, depressed or on SSRIs, or, like hormones leaching in through meat that are causing their brains to go insane. Or then it's like another possibility is like algorithm creep, and like TikTok rotting your brain, and I mean, like, the whole internet culture that divides people and stops them from going outside and playing with their friends, but decides just to like, oh, I'll play video games. And I'm not blaming video games for mass shooting. I also find that stupid.
The COVID definitely drove people to socialize online even more than they already were leading up to COVID.
Yeah. I think, like, what I'm trying to say, though, with, like, all these, like, quasi-ideas about why these things happen is, like, I just don't think there is there's no neat, definable answer that you can wrap up this problem with a bow. Like, it's so multifaceted that, like, you have to address, like, 10 to 15 different things in a society to begin to redress some of the problems that cause this.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's never one. Just it's no quick fix. There's no Band-Aid.
Yeah. This is, like, what we're talking about is, like, removing a whole spine and grafting in a new spine and nervous system into the organism to, like, let it walk again.
Yeah, we're talking about such a fundamental societal change, but other nations did it without generations of change, and our generations of change have brought us precisely dick in terms of this kind of progress. Working together, we suck at that more than we ever have, right?
True. But I go back to the internet, honestly, dividing us more than it's ever done. I mean, it's great that, two people who both have a love of, jalapeno GIFs on a stick can get together and, just create as many as they want and be friends for the rest of their life. But there's no check online, like the natural check of conversation between like you or me or like any people who are basic of slightly different ideologies, let's call it, because I mean, like anytime like you have an alignment of ideology, you know, you're more likely to just soundboard off each other. But even like a slight difference of ideology and a face-to-face conversation, you are just not going to be inhibited. Like, you're going to be inhibited enough that you're not going to say certain things, and the ideas that lead to these bad seeds getting sown are nowhere near as likely to be as prevalent as they are online. Because I mean, like, you know, you're not going to be calling people, you know, Nazis or whatever to their face. That's like one of those things, like very few people actually like walk up to you like, oh my god, you support this? Well, you're just a Nazi. You know what I mean? But you hear that type of shit online all the fucking time. It's
right.
Dehumanizing rhetoric that is ubiquitous in this. I'm not going to say just our society. I kind of feel like in all online culture.
Yeah, online culture is the same problem. Super fucking toxic. Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
and the right wing uses it way better than the left wing does, because the right wing, for better or worse, they seem to be better at organizing like messaging.
Which is funny, because a right-winger would say the left wing is way better at organizing messaging online.
Because I think the right wing tend to organize themselves, but centralize themselves behind an idea or a leader better.
I agree with that.
They're better. They're better followers. They're better followers. And their opinions are more malleable, based off of like what their dear leader says. They can change what they know to be true one day to the next. Now I'm getting way too political again.
I would say that both parties have this issue, but I have seen the right change faster than I've seen the left. Because like I've seen the left do massive dramatic shifts on certain topics, and like, you know, like push narratives that, you know, go too far and things like that. But I haven't seen the left be able to morph as quickly as I have seen the right.
Yeah, they have the benefit of the cult of personality going on. It's really easy if you never have to think about what's going on. If someone just tells you what's going on, and you just get used to that.
They also have more mouthpieces.
Yeah,
like big mouthpieces. Like I can think of 5 massive right-wing podcasters right now that cover basically like the entire Republican substrate. I can think of a few big left-wing influencers and podcasters that cover somewhat of the left substrate, but each of these people, I would say, only has maybe like 15 to 20% of the Democratic audience.
Yeah.
And not like 50 to 75%.
And I know that I don't speak for a lot of people, but I just don't get my news that way. I don't listen to podcasts. I don't listen to YouTube commentators. I just kind of read a lot of different news articles and sources, and that's kind of how I get my news. I don't really watch too much of it. I certainly don't watch very much, you know, CNN or Fox or NBC or any of that.
Yeah. Which is ironic, because, like, even if you did watch those, the shows on CNN, NBC, Fox, and stuff like that, you'd still be better informed than watching podcasters talk about
the news. Yeah, because that's the thing that cracks me up. You see, you know, Tim Pool, for an example, he's spooling through someone else's news article and picking and choosing paragraphs to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird, like, recycle culture that we've created on news, where like there's news, the actual news and the facts of the matter, but we have all these different filters in the form of commentators to give us their political interpretation and opinion on certain actual facts.
Because that's how we determine whether it's valid or not, their opinions. Yeah, like we've gotten away from news just presenting, these are the events that occurred today. These politicians met and discussed this. We can speculate, we can show you what they said, but we can't actually tell you whether it's good or bad, because that's an opinion, not the news.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
And now every piece of news has to come with an opinion piece to validate it. and if it and also like the cult of personality on like your favorite podcasters, the average person kind of like views their favorite podcaster as their friend and shit like that. They have a learning, or they grade on a curve.
I want to pack it down real quick.
Okay, yeah. So like if they say today in like in Louisiana X happened, I think this is a good thing because this will finally shock some people out of their complacency to finally spur on action. Depending on what context you're talking about and who is saying it, you could be either saying, you could be like, oh, okay, like this gun violence, I think will spurn some lawmakers on to get better gun laws or like better background checks, whatever you think is a personally good idea.
Yeah, you have to offer an opinion and a solution to everything instead of just saying this happened. And now for a commentary on this, we can turn to our opinion editor or whatever. Like that's okay to have opinions on television. Just don't bundle them as news. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
And then, of course, getting all your information from YouTube, from podcasters and stuff, it's pretty dumb, too.
Really bad idea.
No, that's not saying that independent journalism, short-form journalism, like investigative reporting, doesn't work really, really well on YouTube. It does. Works better there because they're not beholden to corporate interests as much.
Yeah, so you have the ability
I'm out of ammo. No. Save me, bro. Save me, bro.
I'm trying to. Where is it at?
Can't be that many zombies left.
Oh shit! Alright, now I'm absolutely out of ammo.
We're both out.
Get some more.
Okay, well that's what I was trying to avoid. I was like, damn it, I don't want to buy max ammo before I get max ammo and go pack a punch. No. What the hell? There it is. Finally.
Oh fuck! I just walked in. It was right there. Yeah. No, yeah. Just it's a bad news ecosystem that we have inadvertently developed through social media.
And there are way too many dumb people out there who thinks that their opinion is actually valid. Like me, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah, like us. Some people will find the opinion, our interpretation of reality great. Some people will think of it.
Why did I do that? Oh, that was so fool. I was not paying attention. And I accidentally pack-a-punched my MP40 instead of my HK21.
Oof. Yeah, that's rough.
Oh, I can do both, actually. I have enough money. Oh, shit, that's a grenade I just threw in here. Watch out.
Well, it won't hurt me. It'll just hurt you.
I pack-a-punched both of my guns, I guess. Now I'm flat broke, but yay?
Yes, yay.
Suck it, world. Yeah, guns in America. I mean, I don't want to give up mine.
No, me neither.
I enjoy them. Now, what do I do with them that is essential to my life on a day-to-day basis? Nothing.
Nothing.
They don't provide for me. I don't eat with them. I don't sleep with them. I don't, go shooting every day. I don't use it to hunt. I don't use it to protect myself because I don't really live in an area that's dangerous. And even if I did, I don't think most people don't use their guns defensively very often. Let's be honest. It doesn't happen that often.
No, it definitely doesn't happen that often.
Like, you hear a lot of people using their guns, in really dumb ways. Like, oh, so-and-so had a negligent discharge. So-and-so accidentally, shot a hole through their engine block. So-and-so had to defend themselves against a bear. Holy shit, a real use of it. Oh, someone's gun got stolen. This... Most gun news is more offensive than defensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to say it doesn't happen, but
no, yeah. There's plenty of reasonable cases for when and why you would need a weapon, but this is no longer the good old West. We do have cops everywhere.
Not that they actually do anything, but
yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm not. What the fuck? How'd that happen? Yeah, I'm not using them as a deterrent either. Because, cops don't prevent crime, they just...
enforce laws.
Enforce laws, exactly.
And they don't even have to be experts in the laws that they enforce, which is so great. Would you... imagine if your judge didn't have to be an expert in law that he was presiding over, like Eileen Cannon. Oh, wait. Imagine if your... lawyer didn't he have to be an expert over the law? Like, do you want that lawyer to be representing you? Absolutely not. But the cops don't have to be experts in the law. The cops don't have to protect you. The cops can just watch it go down and pepper spray you if they feel like it. It's fantastic. It must be nice to be a cop.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, I think we should probably call it a wrap on that really exciting note about gun deaths in America. Stay sane and safe, guys. Make sure that your guns are appropriately stored and they're not, children can't get to them. Please don't shoot your neighbors. Don't make sure your chambers are cleared before you clean it. Just be smart. Practice gun safety, and if you must have them, build some sort of community around them. Take a neighbor to the range. Demystify it.
Indeed. Yes. Demystify it. Have fun with it. Build culture around it. Show people that it isn't just a tool for mass violence.
Until next time. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
I already said until next time, so the end is always a clusterfuck.
Yes, it is. And if you did make it this far, congratulations. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. Tell us what you guys think. Tell us if we're right. Tell us if we're wrong. And we will see you on the next Zombie Slaying Fest.